dog shit. Folks, I'm going to show this before we go live just so they know that it's not me, Darren. It's not me.
No. It's not the good people of VDI.
Look at this, people. Sorry something went wrong. We're working on getting this fixed as soon as this is not Facebook. So if you're a Facebook watcher, don't blame us. All right. But I think we're going...
So I can't see you.
Yeah,
that's something that happened while I was...
How about
there.
now?
Well, it's doing like the refreshy thing, but it's not.
How about now?
Okay, yeah. Now I can see the very...
Yeah, you can see the screen. Okay, let me do some audio adjustment, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All right,
Try one more time to go on Facebook. Try one more time.
Just one more time?
Yeah, just one more time just to do it.
I know they've been updating their like APIs or whatever the hell. Like I've been getting emails from Restream.io to like upgrade stuff. We're working on getting this fixed as soon as we can. So sorry, folks. There's something changing about Facebook. This one episode will not be on Facebook, but you know what? It's part of the joy of being live, man. I think
that's right.
I think we're on YouTube, we're on Periscope, we're on Twitch. So let's go to the other ones.
It just said we were live, but it's yeah. There's no other post that has that thing that you were just saying.
It's not connecting to Facebook. I say we just go.
Bastards. All right, let's just go.
All right, we're gonna go up onto you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Folks, it is a Tuesday night. It is 9:30. I'm wearing entirely too much. That can only mean one thing. Very Dead Ideas is live in your face. Except if you're on Facebook tonight for some reason. For reasons we cannot ascertain, we shall not be upon your book of face. Your libro de face. We won't be there. But tonight we bring to you a very, very dead idea, which is, can you actually get your shit done in a coffee shop? Join us, won't you? As we get destroyed by Autobot and Decepticon alike. By Brett Kavanaugh. Bruce Kavanaugh? That sounds even better.
Dude, I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed too, man.
It's like it's fucking bullshit. It's like Facebook is
bullshit.
not taking our shit tonight.
I don't understand why. What did we ever do to Facebook?
I feel like I should post screen caps here showing why Facebook has made errors, but whatever. Anyways, welcome to Very Bad Ideas. It's episode 33.
That's right.
D. Tonight
it's episode 33. Don't be afraid, guys.
Can you get your shit done in a coffee shop?
Can you get your shit done in a coffee shop?
Yeah, that's tonight's episode.
I would say from our initial salvo, I'm probably going to lean towards no. I'm going to say that just that from the outset. Spoiler alert.
I think it really depends on the coffee shop, right? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's definitely true. But for the most part, I feel like it's really hard. Just if you have a shitty battery in your laptop, I mean, you're not going to be able to plug in anywhere. That's the first problem. Right.
So we're going to get to that. But if you guys have anything you want to say on any of the networks except for Facebook,
except for you, Facebook,
which has screwed us for some reason, please enter in the chat what you'd like us to draw. We've got the Photoshop live draw up tonight. We're going to do that in the next act. But to start with, we're going to be talking about coffee shops.
That's right.
So let's.
So, Nye, let me ask you a question. The reason why we're doing this, as you find that you're working on things, do you find that you just can't get shit done at home? So, like, you're like, I don't want to spend like $1 million going to
a co-working space.
A co-working space, because those have become somewhat precious, have they not?
Yeah, I mean the thing that yes and no, but the thing is, like, if you go to 5 different coffee shops throughout the day, you're still spending like $4.50 to $6 here, $6 here, you know, and then during lunchtime, like, you gotta have a bagel or something like that. So you actually wind up spending money at coffee shops, and then also you have this huge tax of the fact that you can't. So first of all, I do things that are a little bit more like, you know, techie shit. So I need like a Wacom tablet. I need my laptop. I need to plug in. I also
I know laptop, and I know you've explained a Wacom tablet before.
But like also, so this is my sketchbook. I need to put these are where my ideas are, so I need to put that there. So I've got food.
That actually isn't his Wacom tablet. That's actually like an analog thing. Do you you show your Wacom tablet?
Yeah, my Wacom tablet or a Wacom or whatever you want to call it. This is a
Wacom.
This is a Wacom tablet, and this is a pen. It allows me to draw directly in the computer and do stuff. But I also need a laptop that's working. I also need my sketchbook, and I also have a cup of coffee and like a bagel that I bought. So you come in, you're walking in, flipping through your sketchbook because I'm trying to think like, okay, what do I want to do in the next hour and a half? I want to try to have these things up and this and that. You buy the thing, you basically pay your rent. You go, you try to find a spot that's like quiet enough that it allows you to work.
Is there sort of an idea of how long per beverage or item that you get? I mean, some places they post it, right? In San Francisco.
Oh, they do. Oh, because I think that's probably a culture where everybody is like, like just working constantly, right? So.
Well, our generation, I think, saw when coffee shops became not a place where people gathered to chit chat and read books, to a place where people
laptops
brought all their Apple products to
like
sort of put in front of the rest of the coffee shop and ignore.
Yeah. So here's
sort of glare at you over the laptop.
So here's a kind of a thing, and in fact, part of this is like just what it is. Like you go to the place and you meet the establishment. You get the flavor for the culture itself. I'm gonna go to myself single on this.
Is this a laptop? Is this a laptop?
Yeah, but also like, are they supporting the independent guys or whatever? Right. So like co-working spaces very much are like we want to support the entrepreneur and give them a place. But there's places that are just like we want to serve you a salad and you get the fuck out. And there's other places that are like, no, we understand that you're going to be here for 4 hours and work on your novel or whatever the fuck you're doing. And so we support that, but come on, like, give us enough to pay for the fact that we've got a place, right? So you've struck this
your
bargain.
Butt's in this chair. You got to buy $15 worth of stuff.
Right. And so also over the course of whatever it is, also like don't be so in your head, even though you got so much work to do, be nice to the people around, share the whatever.
Yeah, so, this isn't your office, right? Like you still
but that's just it. Where else am I going to do my work? I can't do it at home. So this is the frustration that I regularly have, trying to figure out how I'm going to do serious, deep thinking work, labor, and be in a place where I have to get like avocado toast.
Because you're going to be in there, you're going to need their Wi-Fi, you're going to need their bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all things that a coffee shop sort of has to have now. They have to have Wi-Fi.
So let me show you something. I'm going to launch Photoshop here because I think this is something that's interesting that I was thinking about today, which is that, like, I think that there should be better opportunity to work. Let me do the main screen here and open up Photoshop. And I'm gonna just do a new file. New, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's say this is your coffee shop, right? Now I've got my thing up. Most of the time is like, let's say you have a space like this, and then you got a up front, and then you come in the door, and you got to say, hey, I want to get my coffee, and then they put various tables around. And most of the shops that I've discovered try to, find pretty good places, but usually they have like an outlet here that's like broken, or there's like a fight over here because this outlet's the only one that can work, or like.
And those two are like in ghost area. There's nothing there. Like,
or like, I think this one has like nice windows and people want to see. So there's very often people who are like having actual lunch here. So it's about strategically coming in here, making these people happy, commandeering an area that you can get electricity to and whatever, and then setting up for a day. What I think would be awesome is a place that kind of was in between a little bit, that understood that,
between a coffee shop and
a co-working space.
And a co-working space.
And if they had just like...
Let me interrupt you one more time. What, so if you were to go into a co-working space, what would that cost you? You pay by the week, by the day, by the hour? What do you do?
So usually it's either come in by a day. You can get a day, like, how many days per month, or you can get a desk for like $350, $400, or depending on where you are in LA, right? I mean, Long Beach might be a little bit different. There's a couple of really great co-working spaces, but then like you're investing in the space and you want to build the space.
There's a co-working space that finally opened up in Alameda. I mean, it's just I'm interested. So like that 350, $400. I would imagine in San Francisco, it probably runs the gamut.
Oh, I mean, well, the thing is also is I went to a co-working space that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when you went to that pitch, right?
Yeah, I went to that pitch, and it was like a high-level co-working space with like a valet, and people were like valeting their cars. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? So this is my theory right here. If you had a place that was long tables with a bunch of outlets, and and people could come in here and do this, and it was like totally safe and secure, and they could get a coffee, and then they could pay for Wi-Fi or whatever, I bet you would like clean up. Because there are so many people that are desperate, and they're just randomly. I see the same people over and over again trying to make this stuff happen.
Now, so what's the culture like when you go into these places? Do you all nod at each other's? Wave? Nothing?
My favorite place is actually a college coffee shop. It's a place that's downtown, sort of closer to Belmont Shores. That it's called Vento y Agua. And it's close to Long Beach, and so you got a lot of students who are there, and like people are practicing for their Spanish exam or doing like their final projects. And I find that that's a very studious like vibe to be in. But the front level people, like, they want to chat a little bit and talk to you and whatever. Downtown is another place called Linden Public that I go to, and I've been very chummy with the operational manager, and he's like, I want to bring more artists in here, and this stuff, and I'm kind of like, dude, you need some plugs. He's like, yeah, but I don't want the tech guys and whatever. So I'm working with them, and I'm doing the best I can and trying to be the most considerate worker I can for the culture. So
well, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this mid-tier thing. It's not quite a coffee shop. It's not quite a co-working station, because in San Francisco, there's a couple of different. They're like robo coffee kiosks now, where it's like a robot makes your cappuccino.
Yeah.
So what if you, instead of having a barista, you had a couple of banks of robo coffee dudes? I mean, there's one in the Metro that I would, and it's, the pay is the amount of money that you're paying is the same-ish.
Right. I mean, there's going to be more and more of a need for space, which is you're going to interact, you're going to pay for the person for the space and the time, and the things that come with it are also going to be like, fast internet, a cup of coffee, also your contacts, right? So, I mean, the co-working industry is so interesting. I'm going to bring this up because I have it as, there's a co-working space in Long Beach called, We Laboratories. I'm spelling Labrador like We Laboratories. And this is a Long Beach space that tries to encourage entrepreneurship and artistic development and whatever, and they support.
Well, it's a huge thing. What is it, a warehouse?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really great space, and they're working for it, and they're really trying to like cultivate people who are building unique stuff. The one that I was part of in Chinatown was a place called Clever Dog Co-working, and I became friends with the manager and the people, and it was a fantastic place for me to work because you met all kinds of really interesting, creative people. I interacted with like data scientists and game designers and people starting YouTube channels and people videoing video games. Very, very interesting stuff. And so certainly your alternative is I got to walk around and be in like in a coffee shop day to day, or know that you can set up a desk and have the same regular coworkers, and like everyone is pushing each other to be productive. And so
this is what I've heard. That's sort of one of the bigger positives, the community that you can sort of plug into. The problem is that what is it called? Something campus, or there are co-working spaces, I forget the name of them because I probably blocked them out, that are very corporate and very Facebook kind of like, I want to build a entrepreneurial sort of thing, and I just don't like those places. They drive me nuts. Well, I would imagine that the feel has got to be because you see from those couple of websites that you pulled up just in Long Beach, they both had different looks and feels to
and vibes to them and whatever.
And just from the pictures, I mean, like the ones doing like black and white photos, the other place was doing sort of big bright colors with
But
robots
isn't like
on
bars or restaurants try to sell themselves in the exact same way,
Absolutely,
right?
they're doing the exact same thing. The
Yeah.
Facebook ones, right? Like those are going to appeal to, I don't know.
I think those are
whoever-
more prevalent in the San Francisco Bay Area, though.
I would think. I
yeah.
would think. I mean, San Francisco's just become such a different animal, right? In the last 8 years. So I mean, what came after the crash is
marketing thing.
There's a lot more of these co-working places. A lot of buildings I noticed. The co-working sort of pushed the sort of revitalization of certain areas in San Francisco, and they got hold of big buildings. And also, from what I'm hearing, like money-wise, they haven't been too, like, some of them have been sort of fallen prey to like bad business practices about.
Oh yeah, I think
how they.
But I think that it's a business that's here to stay. It's going to be a very interesting.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I think that, I mean, because the truth is that there are like gig economy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are going to be doing this more and more and more. Well, Dee, let's before we go to our break, it's funny that we should do some legal advice before we take a break.
Oh, were you thinking? Because I mean, I was thinking of things. I mean, a lot of law
related stuff. So luckily, our Very Dad Ideas consultant Michael Cohen is on the phone.
Oh my God, that guy's Well, I mean, he is a man about town. I mean, he'll take a phone call from.
So let's take him and we'll welcome him back to the show, shall we?
Hello. You're speaking to me, Michael. Hello.
So Michael Cohen, welcome back to Very Dad Ideas. This is the second time we've had you on the show. It's great to have you. It's great to have your striped jacket back on the show. That's
quite enough, Mr. Warburton. Thank you. That's very nice. As a liberal, I will take your call. I'm a little upset that you would call, but it's okay.
Well, thank you for being upset and taking the call. So, can I ask you now, with Trump being in the hot seat so much, do you think it's
what hot seat is this, my friend? What is a hot seat? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it's entirely possible with all the allegations, the Russian stuff. And,
what allegations? What allegations?
Well, I mean, Trump has been pointed to being potentially involved in a number of shady things. Don't you believe?
Who is this Trump you're talking about?
The President of the United States.
Actually, you know what? I'm getting word that I actually know this man. I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Well, you've done a lot of work with this guy. Weren't you his fixer for many years?
I may or may not have done some work for this man. Fixing is not really.
You're not President Trump's fixer.
I'm not exactly sure that statement is entirely correct, sir.
Okay. So really, you're not going to answer any of my questions whatsoever.
I have a lot of answers that I could, depending on. Let's say, you don't know who I know for sure, and I'm sure that you can't get me in any kind of trouble. So, the answers that I could give you are sort of entirely dependent on.
That's the most bullshit answer I've ever heard in my life.
You could help me,
dude,
potentially pay my rent or not.
The last thing I'm going to call you out on before I let you go is, what the fuck is up with the taxi medallion thing? Tell me how you make money on taxi medallions.
In this day and age, my friend, again, it's the gig economy all over again. I cannot sell these tokens anymore. It is a big problem. Uber and Lyft. I don't know how you pronounce that one.
Lyft.
But
yes.
those have gotten in the way.
And any of the other scooters, right?
And the scooters are now disrupting the Ubers, and it has become a very,
disrupted
very big problem
again, right?
And I keep taking calls from former nudie mag people who are consistently looking for handouts, and I have had to dip not so much into the badge and token money, but more and more into the good people of America, the taxpayers' money, the people who make contribute to pay for these things. So what I'm looking from you, my friend, is a handout. To answer that question, I have a PayPal account that you could fire me on. I get it. Well, thank you. I'll also take a Target Visa card.
Okay, well, thank you very much for visiting the show. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Well, that was Michael Cohen giving us absolutely nothing, but
worthless.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
I mean, the budget here at Very Dad Ideas is pretty big. We're not paying him anything.
Well, let's do some Jen Remington for our break, and when we come back, we're going to do some live draw, and we'll see you then. All right. Bye.
Yeah.
D, welcome back. That was
We're back.
that was Jen Remington. You can find her at heydog heydog.com. She is the best. So D, I'm gonna go to my. We're gonna go back to our main screen where we're gonna do a live draw tonight. We got no suggestions, so we're just doing whatever we want here.
That's right, which is what we do best here at Very Dead Ideas.
Should I be doing something? Me in a coffee shop? What do you think? Or surviving a coffee shop?
I think we should sort of map out what the coffee shop of the future is going to be for the worker. For the worker, right? So I think the worker is going to have virtual reality goggles. This is sort of like this is sort of the step in between the coffee shop and like a co-working space. So there's still like an open mic. I feel like there still has to be an open mic.
Oh, like on Thursday nights or whatever?
Or Thursday nights.
And then people are working on their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And so then you're in little like you're like.
I dig that. Is he on his haptic rig?
Yeah, he's like on his haptic rig, and he's like floating in like a beanbag that levitates above the floor.
An anti-gravity beanbag.
An anti-gravity beanbag.
I want to go to there. That would be all right with me. Speaking of haptic rigs, did you ever see the Ready Player One, the movie?
I did see Ready Player One.
You did see it.
I did.
What did you think?
Do you remember who gave you the book?
Yeah, I do.
That was me, right?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, like I have to say, it's sort of just like the third act of the book. They're just throwing blasts of nostalgia.
Just everything.
It's great because he has like a limitless budget, and he can just throw everything. The thing is, though,
weren't the challenges? Didn't he have to like do something with Monty Python, and he had to do something with like an Activision game?
Yeah, and they did. Yeah, it was.
They
Pitfall.
didn't do any of that. Oh, it was Pitfall, right?
They didn't use Adventure at all.
I don't think they did any of that stuff. It was like.
Do you remember the Atari game Adventure? Because it was the big thing about the key, and the dragon and the.
Oh yes, that's right.
So that wasn't in it either.
That wasn't in the book.
So what is it? They just. And the hero was just sort of a pudgy dude with like bad acne, and like they were not like thin Hollywood sexy people. These are people who lived in like, they lived in a garbage heap. That's what the future was.
I think we're headed towards that pretty much.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
Now that we're bringing back coal.
So this is like you can mentally commit your cryptocurrency into the laptop that floats when you enter the co-working space, and it charges your card and then tracks your like productivity or something scary. And then you can rent a little beanbag where you can virtual reality haptic control your project, and then upload it in high-speed internet, which exists up here.
Up here, right up there in the cloud.
That's right. This is the cloud internet.
It's up there and mocks you. Can you throw a box up and then just have somebody jam his head into it, just so like that way we have sort of the analog version of the computer? That's what it'll be then. It's just like a guy, just his head is stuck
in a box,
in like a 486 DX2 style like computer. But yeah, like a box. Yeah.
And it has a marker that written high tech on the outside of it.
Yeah, and it's just one dude, poor dude. But yeah, so you saw it. Was it? I mean, like it's gonna be out on Amazon Primes or
it's already on
Netflix
iTunes. I didn't see it in the theater, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pay a dime for it. I've just got too many fucking.
Like, you haven't seen it yet?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, is it any good?
I mean, it's fine.
Is any part of it like the...
Darren, if you're gonna see a movie, watch Solo when it fucking comes out, so we can fucking talk about it, man.
Oh yeah. When is that coming out? When is that?
I think sometime in September. Yeah. That is a movie, a big budget movie I can get behind. And I'll tell you, I saw it in 3 different chunks. The Avengers movie, the Ultimate whatever.
Infinity War.
Oh, dude, I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan? I enjoyed it.
Why is Iron Man like a crazy, like putting things out of his arm and like?
Okay, so that was the worst Iron Man armor that I've ever seen.
Well, you know I'm an Iron Man guy. I'm telling you, I'm an Iron Man guy.
Yeah, no, I'm an Iron Man guy too.
Also, Josh Brolin was the whole movie. It was like Thanos was the star of the movie. And
Josh Brolin, yeah, Thanos was the protagonist.
Half of the movie was the galaxy people. Yeah, I wanted to see the Avengers. I wanted to see Captain America and whatever. And what is all this crap? Anyways, it was.
Yeah, no, the Captain America part was largely throwaway. But I gotta say, like that armor was the shittiest armor. Like
it
before,
was super
like
shitty.
He had like a normal suit, and that one it was just like he was like, okay, so we're not even gonna pretend that like you don't have the armor on throughout the entire shoot. He was just wearing that like shitty tech hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
But like he had like the biggest pecs, and it was just like total V-frame Iron Man. I like the first suit, man. The first suit looked just about.
They've lost it. They've lost it, my friend. The great thing about the first Iron Man movie was like it was so awesome.
That he physically had to wear a suit. I know as he got older, like he's done like 10 of these movies. He hasn't physically worn a suit. He's worn like sort of a quarterback version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just sort of like breastplate and like shoulders.
Let's sign off here. This is our virtual co-working space of the future where you're interacting with haptics and putting your stuff into the cloud and being charged. And here is our high-tech guy with a box on his head.
Yeah, you can that's sort of our 21st century Calvin over there.
You can find this lovely masterpiece at our Very Dad Ideas Instagram, which I'm going to save out a version for 9/4/18. D, let's take a quick break, you think?
Yeah.
You know what a big tragedy that I forgot to do about the last act?
What?
Is that our friend didn't come up and hang out with us. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So we needed to have Darren fight a little bit of Vader, and we're going to go to some...
Come on, Tubby Vader.
Jen Remington will be back for some recommendations and the end of the show. All right. Thanks for joining us. Let's come back up. Here we go. And so we're talking about Avengers, Ultron, whatever, because we have to.
It's come off the rails.
It's just like, I hate Vision. I think the guy who plays him just doesn't care about it, or it's awful.
I don't have a problem with Paul Bettany. I think that's fine. I think the problem with the Vision is that like he's just creepy,
shitty character.
He's like a guy who can go intangible. Oh no, just no. And it's great that they killed him, and that actually made the Scarlet Witch like sort of interesting for a second, because that's sort of where I've always tuned out on the Avengers. I've always thought Iron Man's great, Captain America's just fine, and Thor is great.
Yeah.
And the way that the new
and
direction.
Even Hawkeye, I will give you Hawkeye. Despite the fact that he can't do anything, he's still like a very cool, intricate character, right?
Yeah. And he doesn't show up at all.
He doesn't show up at all. Yeah, exactly. And I'm even going to give you Black Panther, which I thought was fantastic. But like
Black Panther's great. Like,
besides
great.
that,
like
it's
his whole
the
Wakanda
slope of my interest goes off very, very quickly, and I felt like there's too many heroes in it. It's a big smorgasbord of stuff that just does not interest me as much.
I sort of think that the movie's a little bit worse for having, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it's a little bit worse for having Spider-Man in it.
Yes.
Because there's nothing for him to do.
Except have a robotic thing. Anyways.
Yeah.
So this is our third act. Welcome back. We are doing... I've got some recommendations to give you. Do you have
one recommendation, but let's
great.
Hear yours.
But before we do that, D, let's do our meta show before, because we always do that in our third act.
Let them have it. Let them know how we get it done.
So you can follow us at Very Dad Ideas. You can go to verydadideas.com. D, I just got the bill for our 1-year website. Our website has been up live for a year.
Oh my God.
All 32 episodes are there, and the podcast. You can visit that guy at darrenjennings.net. I'm at nightweaver.com.
Yeah, speaking of, I need to re-up my fucking website.
You should. I'll help you. Yes.
Yeah.
You can find our archive at YouTube or also Buzzsprout. Very Dad Ideas at buzzsprout.com. You like listening to the podcast, go there. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher and a whole bunch of other stuff.
We're almost current on that, right? We're up to 32 on that, right?
All those are on the site for sure.
There you go.
So Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and then the show is made with a variety of Adobe products. We stream using OBS Studio. We connect to the networks using Restream.io. We do our voices with VoiceMeter Banana, and Darren and I chat doing Discord. And this is the best thing about the show is our Transformer wipe. So this is our last bit where we talk about recommendations.
Yeah, that's right.
So D, what do you got? Do you have anything?
So my recommendation is a show.
Is a show?
You'd have to have HBO.
Okay. What do you got?
It's called Animals.
Animals. Okay.
It is a lightly animated sort of improv-y feeling show.
For HBO.
For HBO, yeah.
Oh yeah, kind of like it.
Yeah, there's just it.
And when you mean lightly animated, it's sort of like they just flap their lips and stuff. Or?
No, they don't flap their lips. For the most part, they don't animate their faces. Part of what I like about it is that it's really lightly animated. And so is it improvisational? It has an improvisational feel to it.
Interesting.
The Duplass brothers have produced this one too.
Yes.
A lot of things. And
what was the comfy chair movie they did?
Is that right?
Yes. You talk about the guys who are also in the League, right?
Yeah, the League guys, and then the other Duplass guy was in the Transparent show, and so it's fun. Yeah, there you go. There they are. One of them's from Transparent, the other one's from the League.
The Puffy Chair. This was a great movie.
Oh, is that what it was?
This is their breakout. Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So this is great. It comes from a great, legacy of great guys who did interesting stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of really good stuff. And there is a spot where Lois from Family Guy shows up in one of the episodes.
Oh, really?
And they have a live action episode that's really fucking fun because maybe they meant to, maybe they didn't. They do a pretty accurate Trump impersonation of the President of the United States in that live action episode.
I haven't even heard about it, so this is a great find. I'd love to check this out. So it's like
if you have HBO, give it a shot. I'm up to the 9th episode of 2nd season, and it's one of those ones where you don't necessarily have to be watching it the whole time to really kind of get it. It's one of those shows where you can just sort of hear it.
But is it improvised? Is it like you feel like the voice acting?
I don't know. I just you'd have to listen to it, and then you would probably either agree with me. Be like the script is like they have like an outline maybe.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the way to go for this kind of content usually these days.
Yeah. Well, and since they aren't animating them out, like they can just sort of just fuck with each other enough so that they're just trying to crack up in between takes. It's a lot of fun, and it's animals, sort of just a bunch of neurotic animals. There's a lot of drug use.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun show.
Awesome, great. I mean, I need something else to focus on a little bit. And I definitely think this would be cool. All right, my recommendation. So I've been thinking about this, and I've been really totally interested in open source software to do great stuff. And so there's a couple of things that I want to call to attention. So one of them is a software called Blender, which is the Blender project, and it is a completely open source 3D engine. You can do modeling, you can do rigging, you can do visual effects, animation rigging. I mean, it's super high end. So usually you use software like, Maya to do all this really high end animation, and that costs a lot of money to do whatever. Like, this open source project is able to do fantastic stuff, and as a result, you've just got these fantastic people doing really interesting, evolving stuff like video editing, visual effects, particle systems, all this kind of stuff.
Sort of on a donation basis, or
no, not even donation. Just like someone takes the code and then builds it. You know. So you have this huge culture of people, and then so another one that I want to call attention to is Godot engine, and this is a completely open source engine that allows you to do. This is like, so Unity and Unreal have to take 10%. This is completely open source, so you're allowed to do really simple programming and do super powerful stuff. There's an animation system in and the same type of thing. This is all open source stuff, and so between these two things, I think that a small team can make really high quality animation, visual effects, and games for free. Wow, is amazing. And then the fact that you can do YouTube. You can YouTube all these classes and this thing. I see no reason why a lot of people shouldn't be making virtual reality experiences or AR experiences or top-down shooters or animated shorts or anything. So that's my recommendation this week, because it's kind of blowing my mind that this kind of stuff is like
that it's just out there and it's free now. Because like Unreal and what's the other one?
Unity.
Yeah, Unity. Both of those have been sort of the two big dogs. I mean,
those have been
the last con that you went to. There was just like guys walking around with Unity shirts, and those are the indie guys.
Yeah,
you've got the Unreal people.
But I mean, if you're going to start an open source thing, you got to give $1 out of every 10 to one of these two companies. It's kind of like change your thing. And I think what's interesting is that, like, you've got these closed systems that are developing software that's by a company, and then you have these open systems, which is just like, here's all these pieces, here's this huge, immense community.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're, find the animation community, and the animation community is building things and then sharing tools and giving each other rigs and giving each other stuff. And then there's, like, the back-end engineering community, which is finding new ways to do multiplayer and all this. So, I just think it's super cool. Like, I don't know how it's going to shake out in terms of people making money on it. But the fact is, like, the whole industry is being pushed forward because everybody is contributing to this open source software, as opposed to, I think it's super cool.
Yeah, it is, because like again, you and I are sort of both sort of, how is it that there is something that's free that's actually, worth, right? Like, I mean, it's like good stuff. I saw the pictures. Things. I mean, it looks like it
and people are building real games with it, and it's
do you know of any games that are like completed on it, or
I mean, I think a lot of games are still in the very early. The engine itself, this engine is only, so let's see, it started
the build like 2.79, like that's the build.
So they're in 3.0.6, right?
Okay.
So it's very early. What's interesting about this is this engine started in South America and was only in Spanish. It developed its own language and then released in the Northern Hemisphere, in which had caused a new explosion of development. And so I just feel like at the pace that they're moving, considering, like, Unreal is great, but Unreal is a one company, right? You're waiting for a company to update, and they're showing you all this, and they do fantastic work. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's gorgeous, man. The Unreal.
But like Unreal's been around for a very long time. These guys have been around for a very short time, and they're rapidly evolving with a very adamant community, and that is pretty crazy when you think about it. So
now, what was that down there? It looked like they had some cryptocurrencies of their own, like Engine
yes.
Coin.
So Engine is actually sponsoring, which is very interesting here. Is they've made some tactical alliances. One is Engine Coin, which is a cryptocurrency smart contract system that allows them. So if you do have an open source project, you can build a blockchain underneath it and then save assets, which I've been interested in moving. And then the other one is Game Dead TV, which is one of the leading developers of, or one of the leading educational content developers. So they have both the ability to make money, potentially, and the ability to train a massive community. So for a free system, it's a pretty interesting thing. Whereas opposed to Unreal Engine, it's free, but then like if you succeed, you got to give $1 for everything that you do. It's going to be an interesting war to watch where the game engine world goes, for sure. So
yeah, no, it isn't. That will be exciting to see how that shakes out.
So that's our show for tonight, D. We struggled through some coffee shops.
Facebook, yeah.
What do we get? No one across the board. So
no one across the board.
So
amazing.
Come and watch our live stream on Facebook when it goes up. I guess I posted the YouTube, and listen to our podcast and subscribe. And we will be back next week. Keep doing this, even if none of you fuckers show up.
That's right. We'll be here. You know what? You come back from the bars. If you come back from the bars at 9:30, we'll be here. If not, you'll have to listen to us later.
Nice.
It's Tuesday, right? You're probably not going to go out and drink till like hours. It's a school day.
Nice. All right, Dave. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh, I need to out. Oof. Let's do the outro. There we go.